Hello. Can you guys hear me well? Give me a thumbs up emoji. Just do a message in the chat. Oh man, like the sardines, canned sardines in spring water. The taste is not optimal for and food enjoyment. Wow. Wait, you guys hear me well? I'm assuming so. I see my mic is working. Yeah. Good enough, right? Okay. Welcome to the Antoine Anonymous live stream. I think if any new people are just jumping on right now. This is a live stream, not about bodybuilding, but about addiction and recovery and mental health. The goal of this live stream is to help people share my experience and just create some support, a place we can go every week and support each other, in our overcoming of the struggles, how to deal with life on life's terms. So, this is it. This is it. This is the live stream. And I'm going to start this live stream with a nice. Where is it here? Oh, the serenity prayer. And if you don't like prayers, think about it as a just a slogan, I guess. It's and the thing is, if you would follow just that prayer here and apply it every day, you would have a much better life. But easier said than done when shit hits the fan and there's chaos around and you're emotional, right? But here's how it goes: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Some people could give me an amen in the chat. Amen. So what it is, yeah, accept the things you can't change. Like for example, the rain. If it rains outside and you're cursing at the rain, you can't accept it. You're going to be mad at the rain. You're going to have a rough time because you can't change the fact that it rains. So what do? You accept it. And then you're at peace. And then you can dance in the rain instead of cursing at it. And then the courage to change the things I can, because change is scary. And so the things you can change, sometimes you don't want to change them, so you ask courage for that. And then the wisdom to know the difference. So it's like, oh, which is which? But to do that, you need to have moments of peace in your day and pauses where you can analyze, okay, is it something I can change? Some things I can't change. So this is it. That's why I love this prayer. It's the only one I know. I should know more, right? I should know more, but that's it. That's the only one I know. All right. Well, a little bit quiet in the chat, but it's all right. I hope the chat is working because I don't see anybody typing. So if anybody could just give me one little thumbs up, that'd be great. That way I know it's not bugging out. Because one time I was like speaking, I thought nobody was chatting, but it was just my chat was like bugged out. It wouldn't work for some reason. So, oh wait, my story is not here. What's that?
So I just got a call from a Hamilton.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Great White, number one. Thumbs up. Pussycat scared. Pussycat scared. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So I did do a meeting earlier today. It was a good meeting. Yeah, we read about step one, which is just like as a drug addict, step one is accepting that you're an addict, pretty much. It's like you have to accept that you're powerless over your addiction, that you can't control your substances, Yo, Arizona, love you too. Willie and Great White in the chat. But yeah, it's like step one is like accepting that you're an addict and that, once you start, you can't stop. It's like being honest with yourself, finally. And sometimes we just like we're in denial, right? You hear about this, like, oh, this guy's in denial. He doesn't think he's an alcoholic. He's in denial. You ask the guy, hey, you're losing control. I can't control still. And then they try to control and they can't. So step one is like accepting that you're an alcoholic or an addict. And this can be like applied to any type of like bad behavior, right? If somebody's like doing, I don't know, some type of like self harm, and then they just in denial that it's not a big deal or whatever to justify, rationalize, whatever it is, and but then I guess step one for them would be that too, like accept that this is a problem and I can't control myself, and then this is the accepting that you're pretty much a failure. Like for me, accepting that I was a loser, that was the catalyst for my recovery. This is how I started my recovery, is by admitting that I'm a loser, like I'm a fuck up, I'm addicted to drugs and this and that. So I had to it humbles you, obviously. What fights against that? Obviously, it's the ego. The ego is not gonna want you to let go of that, because if you're saying you're powerless over your addiction, it means you don't have power, and then that's scary. And as a person with ego, a lot of times like guys are very stubborn with that. I could control still, but a lot of women actually women are pretty stubborn too. But it's like it's a big ego killer, right? Humbles you a lot, and I think everybody has a breaking point. Some people are like their breaking point are further down the line. I was pretty stubborn. Like I if I didn't have any bad consequences that came from using drugs, I would probably still be doing them, because that's how my brain works, right? If it makes me feel good and there's no consequences, like why would I stop? And then if there's some consequences, yeah, but I'll be fine next time. I'll control next time. And then you think that every time, and then it just spirals down, woo, like a turd down the toilet. Then you end up in a septic tank, which is rock bottom. That's a shitty metaphor. It's a little bit quiet. One sec, my friend. One sec. Maybe I can upload this, and maybe I can improve this one here, like that. Is that better? Is it clipping or this is good? Is this better? Seaburks? I want to make sure you guys hear me. I hear myself loud in my headphones, that's why. But maybe if you're listening on your iPhone or something, it'll be a little bit different. But just let me know, Seaburks, if that's a little bit better. But yeah, what I was saying is that for me to start my recovery, I had to reach rock bottom. And if I see people around that are addicts, it sounds better, perfect. The Daily Drift in the chat. If I see other people that like they're addicts but they're in denial and they don't want to stop yet, and I'm like, oh man, it's like you have a lot of suffering ahead, brother. It's like I kind of feel bad, but it's I feel for me that suffering was very necessary, super necessary, right? Because without it, I would have not even started my recovery. It's like I feel bad for functioning alcoholics, for example. They drink every day. Maybe they don't drink during work, but as soon as they go home, they drink and they become assholes to their family, their kids, and their wife, and this, and they make bad decisions, and they don't take care of themselves, and then it's like they won't have any bad consequences except whatever, anything maybe sometimes you hear about domestic violence and things like that, or drunk driving. That's a really bad one, very dangerous. But some people just get lucky and they don't even have bad consequences for a long, long time. They just kind of coast in a shit, not a shit storm, but a shit precipitate, just a little bit of rain, a little bit of shit rain, and they coast through 20 years like that. It's what's worse? Mine was kind of condensed in 5 years. I reached rock bottom pretty quick after a year. You know what I mean? It was so extreme that I brought myself down after a year. But then even after one rock bottom, I get bounced back, get better, train again, get my body back. And then I'm doing so good I can justify a little bit, and then a little bit is never a little bit. It never was a little bit. And then I forget the last rock bottom, or I tell myself this time it'll be different. I'll make sure to stop at the right time, use less, this, that. And that was the lies that I would tell myself. Never worked. Staphatus. Staphatus. I don't know how to say your name, but hey, bro, Chris, I'm telling that again. I love you, brother, and have done so far. So much heart, and you will continue to overcome. Long time fan, man. I appreciate you and all the other people right now. I think I got 7 viewers. Shout out to my 7 viewers. Let me see my story actually, because 14 minutes ago I uploaded. Let's see if we have more people coming in from the Instagram here. Because everybody knows people who suffer from addiction, right? So here in the chat, do you know anybody? What's my baby? Good night. It's bedtime. It's bedtime. I love you. I love you. Okay, my baby. Like everybody knows people suffer from addiction. Whether it's you, I don't know if any of you guys in the chat are suffering from some type of addiction. It can be, it doesn't have to be mood-altering substances. It can be behaviors. But I'm sure all of you maybe know somebody you care about, or at least somebody you know. Maybe you guys can give me confirmation of that in the chat. But one day at a time, 8 days sober, 8 years sober, the daily drift. That's awesome, man. Very good, very good. Yeah, what was your problem? Was it like substances? Was it sober? Maybe it was alcohol, because alcoholics use the word sober. Bubba in the house. Bubba is back. Yeah, but it's like I find that stop weed cold turkey. Yo, that's good. And the thing with weed, people think it's not a hard drug. It's pretty freaking hard. It's the only one that made me feel like I was dying and stuff. So it's rough sometimes. And I've seen a lot of kids in rehab became schizophrenic because of weed. That's a real thing. It's mostly like young white males for some reason. They're early 20s. Maybe it's just genetically we're kind of weaker against that thing. Alcohol and benzos. Been in recovery since May 20. Dude, May 28. It's also my recovery date. Was it you last time? We were like, oh shit, we had the same recovery date. Was it you, or it's another guy that also has May 28? That's so funny. May 28 is my clean date too. Me is like 4 years ago. So alcohol and benzos. Benzos are no joke. Like people can die from benzos withdrawal. So people don't know about that. Like people always hear about the opiates withdrawal because it's the most intense in a sense. It's like it feels like you're about to die, but you're not actually. The risk of dying are like super super low, but it's like hell. I think people are just. It's probably like the worst feeling in the world. People say that they have when they go off the painkillers and they just go through the bad withdrawals. That's why there's so many like programs to like help people wean off with the Suboxone and methadone and things like that. And it's kind of like people are so afraid of being dope sick. A lot of people like they end up keeping their addiction up, not because they want to party. It's like imagine you remove even the fun out of the drugs, then you're left with just like, oh, if I don't take this thing, I'm gonna be in hell, and the only relief I have in my life is doing this one thing. Yeah, so crazy coincidence. Daily drift. So my clean date is May 28. There was another guy last week or 2 weeks ago. His clean date was May 28 too. Maybe he's gonna be here. So anybody else like Staphatus? February 2020 is your clean date. What's your real clean date? Do you have a date? And everybody else, I don't know if you are in some type of like recovery or you stop using or doing some type of behavior. Do you have clean dates around? Maybe we can all shout our own like little clean dates. Mine is May 28th, 2021. Willie says, I'm very successful and I've been at my career and in management position for 25 years, but I drink 12 to 18 beers as soon as I get home. It has never negatively affected me, but I want to stop. Yeah, the thing is that, Willie, it hasn't affected you yet. I'll say yet because maybe like your health might be suffering from that. But the thing maybe you need to ask yourself, is it affecting the people that love you, right? Is it affecting, I don't know if you have a wife or something and a family. Is it affecting them? Or are they scared? Maybe things like that. it's like for me. I'll talk more about me, Willie. That'll be better probably. But when I was using in the past, I would be like, who cares? I'm only doing this to myself, right? I'm only doing this to myself. I'm not hurting anybody else but myself. If I'm hurting myself, if I'm hurting anybody, it's me. Who cares, right? Because I didn't really like, had I guess a high self-esteem, or I didn't really care about my health that much. I guess like if you look on paper, like theoretically, I didn't. But the thing is, everybody that cared about me was hurting from seeing me do drugs and do this to myself. So that it's like it's a selfish disease, right? Because I only thought about my own feelings, obviously, because I guess it was too much for me to accept how I felt. I had to change it. So all my behaviors and stuff and all my actions were revolved around me and how I felt. I wanted to party. I wanted to feel this way. I wanted to have extreme sensations and have crazy experiences, this, that, and that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. I didn't care about anybody else. I mean, I thought I cared, but if they got in the way of me doing what I wanted, then I would get really mad, and then I would push them away or whatever it is, right? It's like for me, addiction was like this. It's like that's why I think it's like a kind of like a demon or something, an evil, because addiction was like pushing me away from all the people that I love and that loves me towards just like nothing, right? Just artificial, superficial. Like I met some great people also during my years of active addiction. I don't really keep in touch with most of them, but I know there's some good people in there, and I see them from afar. They're doing fine. So I know but a lot of time it's like I'm going away from like peace, love, serenity, and I'm running towards chaos and just like superficial, like a sin and this and that, right? So it's kind of weird how it works. It's like this thing that I think is making my life better in the moment, like instant gratification, right? Making my life better in the moment is actually pushing me towards not good, like not a good path, and pushing me away from a good path. Because for me, like I'm thinking, I'm an addict, right? I would do it too much, hard stuff too much for too long, and just like not care about everything, anything else. So really, when you say you do these things, it's good you want to stop. And the thing is, like in recovery, we always say that the requirement to be part of the 12-step program, like NA or A, whatever, is just the desire to stop using or the desire to stop drinking. So if you have the desire to stop, you are welcome in these program. And I mean, you could try it, Willie. AA. Since you was just drinking, you could try AA. There's a lot of recovery in AA. There's like old like people with like 30, 40 years of recovery, because this program's been around for a long time, right? And then Daily Drift said it's definitely hard when you lose all the people you used to hang with. Yeah, it is. It is true, right? It's like if the common denominator between you and all the people you hang around and you think that you're friends is like the drugs, and then you remove that factor from your life, you don't have that in common with them. And if they're addicts too, maybe they don't want to hang out with you unless they do drugs or whatever, smoke or drink. So yeah, people lose friends like that. It's like a very common thing. Um, but the people who are really your friends, they'll they'll stay in touch, and maybe they'll even be inspired by you and your new way of living, that they'll stop too, right? Bubba saying I haven't used opiates since sometime in January 2025, so that's good. January, February, March, April, May, so it's like 6 months. That's good. Was it hard to stop, Bubba? Or was it like did you have the withdrawals that are so famous, and or because you were using like, maybe I don't know if you were using every day, because if you use every day, usually you do have withdrawals. So what did you do to stop? Did you stop like one shot, boom, bing bang, cold turkey, or you were part of the withdrawal program like methadone or Suboxone or something? I mean, it's pretty good you did that. Very hard. I mean, I see it every day around here. You know, like in Hamilton where I live, there's a lot of addiction. It's everywhere. If I drive, I see addicts. You know, I mean, I see one in the mirror every morning, but I'm an addict in recovery. It's a little bit different. So, yeah, it's hard, and everything that's like they're all hard to stop. Yo, Xavier, what's up from Australia? Welcome back to the live stream, Antoine Anonymous. We have 10 viewers. Let's go, guys. Yeah, Xavier, we're just talking about withdrawals and stopping and asking like if people have what's their clean date if they have one, if they have any substances they have trouble with, or behaviors. Willie is saying, thank you for sharing your story and giving me great advice. I stay close to my family and have a great relationship with all around me, but I know I need to stop. Sustain good health. Good health is good. That's a good enough reason, right? But it's like you gotta ask yourself, what is gonna be your clicking your aha moment where you need to stop. For me, it was like really bad consequences. You know what you should do, really? Just maybe you could go do some blood work, right? You go do some blood work. You look at your liver enzymes, your cholesterol, all that stuff, and then I know it's scary. Trust me. Something we're out of sight, out of mind is like an easy path for like all of us. You know, oh, if I don't see it on paper, it doesn't exist. But by doing like blood work, you could see like the real consequences of your habits, you know, and then you can probably like you might be more motivated to like make a change. And the cool thing is that if you stop and then you start taking care of yourself, you could probably like do blood work again in 6 months and then see results on paper too. So that's super motivating. You know, when you see improvement in your liver enzymes and cholesterol and stuff, and then also you're probably gonna save a lot of money. I mean, you say you have a successful career, so I guess money is not that much of a problem. But like, still, you know, if you're a good businessman, you know the importance of money and how the how much it's worth, right? But yeah, Willie, I suggest maybe do some blood work and hang around and just ask questions and stuff if you want, and you know we're here to help. And yeah, keep us posted, man. Keep us posted, Bubba. Yes, I had to move to San Francisco with my brother to get away from the temptations of getting pills. I was stuck in bed for about 5 days and ate a lot of junk food to help with withdrawals. Yeah, I think sugar sometimes help with withdrawals. And for me, like when I was right after my benders, I would be so hungry. I would eat so much food, I would gain back like 20 pounds really quick. And it did help me. I would sleep a lot and eat. That's what I would do. That was kind of like my withdrawal. A lot of sleep, anger, self-hate, depression, tired, irritability. These were like all my symptoms of like withdrawals. But like when you do stimulants, you don't have like a physical pain that much really. Yeah, but dude, good job. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Shout out to your brother for helping you out. It must have been hard for him to watch you in bed like that for 5 days, and you know, and being like having flu symptoms. But I'm glad you're doing better now. Willie says, I get my blood work done every 6 months. Full panel. LDL is a little high, but everything else is great. Good, man. So maybe, Willie, it's not too late. Either you keep doing what you're doing and then you don't like it for a while, or that you make a move. But whatever you do, you should let us know. Yeah, well, that's good. Endo is happy with that's good, man. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. All right, so today also, I was talking about the acceptance. Yes, Willie, I support you. We all support you. I was talking about the step one, which is like the first step, accepting that your life is unmanageable. You know, you have lost power over alcohol or drug or your bad habits and behavior, and you can't control. So that's step one, right? So this the meeting I had was about that, and we also read a pretty cool reading. Just for today reading. I think I'm gonna go over that. And yeah, the appetite, you know, in rehab is kind of funny. Bubba, every rehab I went, there's people coming in, they're like skinny, and then they leave rehab 3 months later. They gain like 30 or 40 pounds because the only like pleasure they get that's instant in rehab is there's like cigarettes, right? People like smoke cigarettes in rehab, And then there's like food. So they go from like a drug, and then they go to one that's like a lesser of the evils, right? It's like food, but it's fine. It's good for people to eat and replenish their body with like nutrients and stuff after. But it's kind of funny seeing people like just get fat in rehab, which is good. I mean, it's part of the process. Honestly, I got fat too in rehab a little bit. Yeah, sugar is a not only a vice, but it will pump up your dopamine in your brain. It's pretty much like a hard drug almost. But yeah, so let's go back to the just for today reading. It's right here. I'm gonna put it on the screen in a second. I have to move over here, I guess, so you guys see me a little bit. Poof. All right. So this is extracted from. It's a little quote from the basic text, and then in that little booklet they expand on that little quote from the basic text, the book we have in NA, and then we read it every day, and then we can reflect on that, talk about it, share about it. That's what I did today earlier. So we're gonna read it together. But if you guys have any questions about anything during that time, you can just say it in the chat, and I'm gonna stop my reading and help you out, and we can talk about this. So if you want to share about the reading right now, we can also do that together. Milkshakes Anonymous coming up, Bubba. We should start that for you. 12-step. You're a milkshake addict. Milkshakeaholic. All right, so let's do this. Patience, page 202. We were trapped by our need for the instant gratification that drugs gave us. Yeah, well, I was trapped. And the thing is, you can remove the word drugs, you can put milkshakes, Bubba. We were trapped by our need for the instant gratification that milkshakes gave us. It's like you can put anything. Alcohol gave us. The instant gratification that porn gave us. The instant gratification that watching Netflix gave us. You can put anything in there, right? Anything that will make you feel good right away, you can be trapped by. Crazy, right? I'll say that again. Anything that can give you instant gratification, you can be trapped by. Whoa, right? Anything. So there's a lot of examples out there. I'm sure you guys can think of a lot of stuff. So let's keep reading. Basic text, page 25. I want what I want, and I want it now. That's about as patient as most of us ever got in our active addiction. The obsession and compulsion of our disease gave us a one-track way of thinking. When we wanted something, that's all we thought about. Yeah, that's true for me. And it says here the obsession and compulsion of our disease. That's what it is. It's like I would obsess over getting some. I would obsess over like doing it a certain way with with certain people, and then it was not just an obsession. There were actions, right? Repeated actions. It was like a compulsion. I couldn't stop it. It was compulsive, and I think a lot of that is trying to cope with like life. If life is not the way you want, and then that's how you cope with it. That's a compulsion and an obsession. Yeah, so that was my life. Over and over again, I would do it again because it would give me that instant gratification, instant grat. And that's all I thought about. Yes, and the drugs we took taught us that instant gratification was never more than a dose away. Yeah, it's like, let's say if you feel really bad, and you know that this one thing can make you feel really, 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 really good right away. It's like pretty tempting, especially if you've done it before, you know what it does. So that's why people like with addictive personalities, they should not try the hard drugs. They should not try. Let's say if somebody's like really loves like alcohol, and they're like pretty extreme, they should not try Xanax and things like that. Because they're gonna. It's like alcohol times better. You know what I mean? It's like the feeling is way more intense. So for them, it's like they like to remove anxiety probably. So anything that's like an anti-anxiety type of thing, that's instant, they're gonna really like it. So it's true. One dose away, you can feel good. So that's why it's really hard to stay off the thing, right? So for me, it was like that. So imagine you're here, you feel like shit. This is the normal, like center of the screen is like, this is your baseline. This is, you don't feel happy, you don't feel bad, you don't feel good, you're just like normal. You know, like kind of like when you wake up in the morning. I mean, morning we're maybe a little bit lower, but it's like when you're just like, just normal, no emotions, nothing. So imagine you go from, you're not even there. You're like feeling like shit. And then you use some type of substance or a drug, you go all the way there, all the way to the top. From the worst feeling to the best feeling. So look at the gap here. See the gap here? There's a huge gap. So instead of just going from like I feel normal to this, that's a normal gap. But like when you use drugs, when you feel bad, you go from like instant, not gratification from here to here, but from here all the way up. So it's even more addicting. You know? So yeah, some people don't want to feel anything. They just want to numb it out, like the director said. Like a lot of people, they do opiates and things like that, or alcohol. They have like these feelings. They don't want to feel these feelings. They want to get out of it, and one way to do that, they'll numb it. So they sometimes people they'll use it. Disassociative, disassociative, like ketamine and stuff. You know, they'll just forget. They just forget they're even a human being. So it's like, but for me, I wanted to just feel more extreme, like more feel better and feel good. I wanted to feel like really good. You know, I didn't want to numb anything. I wanted to feel everything. But by feeling it really good, you don't focus on all the bad stuff, right? But sometimes, if you would like, I would be by myself after a few days. I'm at home alone. Then I would think about the bad stuff, but like with the compulsive of the drug, which is like even worse. Then it's like I'm obsessing over bad things. So it's like it's a bad spot to be in too. Yo, Hussam, how's it going? How's it going over there in Hungary? I think you live in, right? From Turkey to Hungary. All right, let's keep reading. From a dose away. It's no wonder that most of us came to Narcotics Anonymous with next to no patience. So, NA is the program I'm in, right? This is a text from it. So, a lot of people end up. We'll just say a lot of people end up with no patience if they are always used to just like feeling good right away using something, right? And they have their way all the time. This is the way they're gonna be, and this could be hard to live life like that because life is never really on your terms, really, right? Try to control everything, but like we can't control everything. Going back to the prayer earlier, the problem is we can't always get what we want whenever we want it. Some of our wishes are pure fantasy. If we think about it, we'll realize we have no reason to believe those wishes will be fulfilled in our lifetimes. We probably can't even fulfill all our realistic desires. We certainly can't fulfill them all at once. In order to acquire or achieve some things, we will have to sacrifice others. Yeah, this is why the Buddhist people, it's all about like removing all the desires, because if you remove all desires, there's no suffering. If you want nothing, you won't be. It's like if you have no expectations of anything, you'll be protected from like pain. Yes, alhamdulillah. You'll be protected from pain, but that's not reality. For me, at least. I mean, if you're a monk, that's good, right? But it's also good to take some of that and like not have crazy desires or have like your well-being and how happy you are attached to these desires being fulfilled. That creates suffering, right? I'll be happy once I have more money. I'll be happy once I have $1 million. I'll be happy once I have a girlfriend. I'll be happy once I etc. 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 That's like that creates a lot of suffering. And the thing is, one thing that I tell people, I see a lot of people like that. Let's say, because it's a bodybuilding channel too. We'll take bodybuilding for example. Like a lot of guys, I'll be happy when I look the way I want to look. So their whole life they're trying to build a physique because they'll be happy when they're huge and ripped, right? But the thing is, if it took 15 years to get a body, and for 15 years your thought pattern was like, I'll be happy when, like in the future, Like your brain every day is practicing thinking I'll be happy later. Well, what does that do? You go at the later, 15 years down the line. You look amazing. You're ripped. You're huge. You have what you wanted 15 years ago. But for 15 years, you were thinking that I'll be happy later when I'll get this certain thing. Well, your brain is now hardwired to think like that. So even though you are where you're at, your brain still is thinking like that. It's not going to change. Your brain is like, has imprints in it. You know, like you can make new connections. I think it's called neurogenesis or something. Neuroflexibility or something like that. Neuroplasticity. That's what it is. This is a real thing. Neuroplasticity is a real thing. But to do that, you have to like work at it consciously, and it won't feel good. It's like I always like this analogy where you take a big field. There's a meter of snow that fell down the field, you know, when you were born or whatever, and then you start going in certain ways, pathways in the field, you certain tracks, and then you see the guys like, oh, I'll be happy when I reach this one thing path. It's like super clean. There's like lamp posts. There's like asphalt. It's all like heated pavement. It's easy to walk there because it's been walking there. The brain's been doing that thing, thinking this way for like 15 years. Well, once you get to where you're at, you're trying to like think like, oh, now I'm enough. I'm okay. That's another pathway. That's not a beaten path. It's like there's 1 meter of snow still. Way much harder to walk over there. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? So thinking like, oh, I'll be happy when I reach this one thing, and you always think like that, you'll never be happy ever. The thing is, I think the key to happiness for a lot of people, you know, you see people say, is being exactly right now in the present moment and accepting how things are and be okay with it and be at peace with it. Let's say, I'm not big and ripped. Well, that's okay. I'm actually satisfied and happy with where things are. And then it's like a relief. Whoa, nice. You know, but like it's a really, really hard to think like that, honestly. Like you have to like almost like consciously do it. And even though for me, like 4 years clean, I've been in recovery for like 10 years, you know, I still think every day that there's a lot of things I could do better and this and that. It's like we're pretty hard on ourselves, right? And like Willie, I'm sure you have a business, but you always aim for more, you know. But it's normal, right? We can't use that as an excuse to do nothing. No, it's good to have goals and things like that. But I mean, like, how we see ourselves. That's important for that. It's the most important, like with how we see ourselves. If we think we're gonna be worthy of being happy only when we're gonna be a certain way or have a certain thing, this is how we see ourselves. We can't have our like well-being associated with something external. And then if I take my example of drugs, I'm happy when I have drugs. Dude, drugs are not there all the time. It's gonna run out. So there was a lot of time I wasn't happy, and then I stopped drugs. I'm not happy. I don't feel it. So it's like now my brain knows one thing. Remember the path that's like all beaten down with the pavement? That's my path to the dealer. It's like, oh, it's great. It's almost like I can sit in a Tesla. I don't even have to drive. It's going to drive straight to the dealer in my brain. And then this is the only path I know that's easy. But like with rehab, with the meetings, with therapy, all this stuff, and doing the little habits every day. It's like at first it was like so hard to not do it. But after a while of doing it, you know, that's why you need support and help. And like you need to have willingness too. You know, you need to have have the will to get better. You need to have that. If you don't have it, it's going to be really hard too. It's not just like getting help. It's like you're going to want it. You ever tried helping someone who doesn't want to be helped? Especially with like an addict? Impossible. Like in me and my active addiction, you would tell me like, hey, stop doing drugs. I want to help you. I'll be like, dude, fuck off. Like, it's not the vibe right now. You know, I'll stop later. You know, I'll stop later. And later would come. My thinking process is like, I'll stop later. So it's like, I didn't want to stop either. I didn't want to, like, I'll stop in 2 weeks. A lot of time I was planning to go to rehab in 2 weeks, and I was like, went to rehab, I was in rehab for 30 minutes, ran away and things like that. Crazy stuff. Happened multiple times. You know, I would run away. I would go to my mom, like, okay, I want to stop. And then I would wake up after 5 days, like, oh, I don't want to stop. Like, I would decide to stop when I was feeling good from the drugs, still in my system. And then when the drugs are out, oh, I feel like shit now. I don't want to stop. So it was a big process. But it's good to remember that this pathway thing, you know, like the more you do things, the more it gets imprinted in your brain, and the more it's going to be hard to stop, the more you do it. So imagine people who've been doing certain things for 15 years are actually harming them slowly and harming people around them emotionally. That's hard to stop, you know, so it's normal. The brain is like that. The brain likes patterns, it likes repetition, and if there's things that the brain like and it's going to want to do it again, and, you know, it finds a way, and then your brain works a certain way, then you have to, like, do a lot of work to, like, rewire your brain. You hear about that, right? You've seen reels of people like, oh, Robert Greene, rewiring your brain, whatever it is, post-tenza, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, it's a real thing, you know, like, you don't have to put the, it's science too, but there's a spiritual aspect to it, and this is where having a higher power can help, because it's a power outside of ourselves that can guide us, make the right decision. Because honestly, even if you don't believe in a God or whatever, but you pretend that it's true, and you ask God, okay, what's the right thing to do right now? Even if you don't believe it, if God existed, what would He tell me to do? He would tell me to, like, you know, stop doing this thing that's bad for me, stop lying, stop doing this, stop this habit, stop hiding this thing from my wife, whatever it is, right? So it's like, well, that's the higher power, that's the guidance. You don't even have to believe that it exists for real. You have to just tell yourself what's the right thing to do, what it would tell me to do. That's the right thing. All right, so this is where the higher power comes in play. So I think, like, higher power, program, support other people, sharing about it, like right now, and having the willingness, and then being honest also, and then open-minded to try and, you know, have this new way of life. Because it's scary to, like, leave something that gave you such relief, right? In your head. Gives you relief in your head. Very scary. So, yeah, that's where the courage comes in. But, all right, let's keep reading. All right. Yeah, in order to achieve or acquire some things, we have to sacrifice others. That's normal, right? Like, we don't have time for everything. And if you can't have your cake and you can't eat your cake and have it too. I never understood that sentence. You can't eat your cake and have it too. If I'm eating it, I'm having it. I have to ask ChatGPT. Explain this thing to me. You can't have your cake and have it too. You can't eat your cake and have it too. If I'm eating it, I'm having it in my hand. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's keep going. In our addiction, we sought instant gratification, squandering our resources. In recovery, we must learn to prioritize, sometimes denying the gratification of some desires in order to fulfill more important long-term goals. Oh shit, are you talking about delayed gratification, sir? Yes, it is. But it's pretty interesting here. It said that the first sentence, in our addiction, we sought instant gratification, squandering our resources. So pretty much what I'm assuming it means, because I'm French, squandering, I never really read that in a sentence for real, I think. So it's my first time reading this in a sentence ever in my almost 38 years of life. I think it means that we were sacrificing all our resources, giving up everything we have just so we could have that instant gratification. That's how I became homeless a couple times. I had no money. All my money would go to, all my resources would go towards getting my instant gratification. And then because it's instant and it doesn't last, when you're out of resources, this is when, that's how people get homeless. It's like, oh, I got nothing now. And then, you know what's crazy? Like, how bad is it? You know, you're homeless. You know, you're homeless, and then you have money the first of the month. And then once you buy drugs, you can't stop doing them, and you can't, like, ration them. So your first of the month money is gone in, like, 5 days or a week. And then you have another 3 weeks where you don't have the only thing that makes you feel good in the world is not available anymore. You got 3 weeks where you're scraping the city to find like resources to get a relief from the drug you like. How horrible is that? Right? It's like, oh, people will steal, people will sell their body, people will like find ways and means to get more, but like, to what expense? To the expense of their self-esteem, to the expense of their own health, their own safety, their own, sometimes their life. And then the first of the month comes in. You can see it in the city here in Hamilton. First of the month, shit gets fucking. The first like couple of days, it's like, oh, we don't really see people around. And then like 3 days in, oh, now they're crazy. They've been up for 3 days or whatever, and then after a week, it's like people run out of money. Then it's like shit. People start asking money, this, that. It's pretty crazy. So it's a bad way of living, because once you have no more resources, you know, your way of getting your relief was to spend money, and now you're out of money. I mean, I ended up there. It was not good, you know. But yeah, let's keep going here. In recovery, we must learn to prioritize, sometimes denying the gratification of some desires in order to fulfill more important long goals. Yeah, delayed gratification. That's what bodybuilding is. You're suffering now in the gym, you have results later. So that's why I think in recovery, it's really good for people to have like fitness goals, because it teaches you that. It teaches your brain that, okay, if I do this thing now, I'm going to reap something later. And the thing is, like, delayed gratification is the only thing that makes you proud of yourself, right? If I win the lottery and I am a rich man now, I'm not going to be proud of that. There's no pride in buying a ticket. There's no work that I put for all that money. So it's like, I'm not going to be proud of myself for that. But if I work my ass off like Willie over there, I have a successful business, I'll be proud of that. Because I worked 25 years for it. It's different, right? So that's why people like with, people who have these fitness goals and reach them, it's hard for a long time. They suffer, and then they, like, that's why winning these shows, for me, like winning my pro card, I was really proud of myself. It was something very basic that I could do that was making me proud of myself, was like bodybuilding. And then addiction, once everything was said and done, all the resources squandered, like they say, all the relationships smashed, and some relationships betrayed, I would hate myself. At the times I hated myself the most was like realizing what I've done after a bender. Oh, I have to go get back to reality now. What have I done? Why did I do that? I was freaking out. I would hate myself. Then you do that often enough, then you have like no self-love, just self-hate. So delayed gratification is kind of like an antidote to that, but it's not an antidote that you'll get right now. It's like it's more down the line, but it's really good for you and your self-esteem. Okay, to do so requires patience. Yeah, that's true. To find that patience, we practice our program of recovery, seeking the kind of full-bodied spiritual awakening that will allow us to live and enjoy life on life's terms. That's important. Life on life's terms. What does that mean? It means just like, has it come to you? Like when you wake up, life will be a certain way, and then your ability to accept it the way it is or not is going to dictate maybe your success, but probably how you're going to feel, maybe your happiness, right? So a lot of times, like, just me doing drugs or people drinking or doing any type of like behaviors to feel better or like change the outcome, change the way they feel, is because they're just not accepting life the way it is. And life the way it is equals life on life's terms. That's what it means. Baba is saying that if you eat the cake, that means you don't have the cake anymore. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I get it now. Thanks, man. Hussam is saying, as long as you ask for guidance with all of your heart, God/Allah will answer and guide you the right way. That's true. That's true. It's like if you do that, if you ask for guidance to your higher power, and then you'll hear the answer most likely, or you'll know the answer already. That's the thing. A lot of time it's like I already know the answer, but the act of asking for it, or at least thinking like what's the right thing to do, is creating the space for me to like read the answer inside of me, or that's there already. I won't see the answer if I'm distracted and holding on to things and caught in the chaos, right? I have to step back and then either like Usan is saying, like pray or ask yourself what's the right thing to do, and then you pause, and then this space that's been created will allow you to either hear or see or just remember the answer. That's what. So it's the guidance is real. We all have that tool, by the way. Hussam is really good at this because he prays a lot every day. That's an advantage that he has against not against, but like compared to most people. Like if everybody prayed to their higher power 5 times a day, asking for guidance and strength to deal with life on life's terms, life would be such a much better place, right? But you don't have to do it. And everybody's spiritual path are different. Some people they pray in the morning. Some people pray only when shit gets hard. That was me in the past a lot. Like on my knees, like God help me, I fucked up. And in the past there were times I would pray every day and just to be grateful. Thanks, man. Thanks for the coffee. Thanks for my family. Thanks for this. Thanks for that. And that puts me in a better mood, right? You start your day feeling grateful, and being grateful is actually like I think something you can practice. It's not just a feeling you have; it's an action too. But yeah, word, the word. Just for today, at the end here, last little reflection. Just for today, higher power, help me discover what's most important in my life. Help me learn patience so that I can devote my resources to the important things. I'm going to read it again. Sometimes I read and I think about other stuff. Just for today, higher power, help me discover what's most important in my life. Just hold that for a second. Help me discover what's most important in my life. So I guess you can ask for more than just guidance. You can ask yourself or God, what's the most important thing in my life? Then you can think about it. Or is it doing drugs? Is it my family? Is it just the act of self-improvement? This is what drives me. That's important. Just getting better and better, Or is it helping people that I love? What's the most important thing? And then you discover that. That's good. That's good. That's kind of a cool thing, right? Because we know, most of us knows the answer to that too. But sometimes we don't think about it, so we need help. We need to have do the action of like thinking about it or praying about it. And then it says, help me learn patience so that I can devote my resources to the important things. Oh, it says it earlier, squandering our resources to get instant gratification. That's not the good way. Obviously, logically, it's not. But then here, help me learn patience so I can devote my resources, which is not just money. Time is the most valuable resource, right? So I can devote my time, my money, my resources to the important things. So what is that? So we're gonna end the live stream with this question. So the people listening in the chat who wants to participate, what is the most important thing in your life? Ask yourself right now. Take a pause. You can even ask your higher power, hey, help me discover what's the most important thing in my life. So what is it? Jeff? What is it, Bubba, Hussam, Willie, Daily Drift? What are the most important things in your life? So while you guys think about it, I can probably say my most important things in my life. I mean, in the past, they didn't even exist. So sometimes having a family is really going to give you purpose, and I do believe that. Most important things in my life are in the house right now. my wife doing dishes, and my baby sleeping, and providing for them, and being the best that I can be for my son and my wife, and also for me. I want to look at myself and be proud of myself, and I know what to do that, and I know what to do to hate myself too. That's easy. I can just be selfish, do what I would want without care for my surroundings and people that love me, and I would hate myself right away. Easy money, right? Easy. That's the easy path. Consequences are really hard, but the path is easy. You know. But the guilt would be there right away, ruining everything. So no. The most important thing is in my life anymore is not partying. It's my family, its well-being, and being a good man. You know what I mean? Being a good man, doing the right thing. Let's see some of you guys' answers. Usam said, that was from earlier, another subject. True problems don't bother you that much when you pray and ask for guidance. Yes. Yes, true. Especially the ones that don't matter, right? The small problems won't matter if you ask for guidance and pray and ask for, like, discover the most important things in your life. Daily Drip is saying that my girlfriend and family. There you go. So now you know. Now you know, right? It's like, am I spending my resources on things that are not important when I should be spending it on them? And that can be time and attention. You know, Willie is saying spending time with my family and reading scripture. Scripture, what's scripture? Is it like the Bible? So your higher power, your belief systems, and your family, the most important thing. Okay, yes, the Bible. That's awesome. Yeah, man, that's good. That's good. So, like, you know, like, it's funny because we would give everything up for our most important things, right? And a lot of us are saying here family. Willie and Usam both said their faith, you know, like scriptures for Willie and the faith for Hussam, the most important thing. So we gotta put more time into it. Bubba is saying my sobriety, my faith, and my health. Dude, that you're right, Bubba. Without my recovery being number one, I wouldn't not even like have a family. So my recovery is like one of the most important things. See, this is why it's good to talk about this stuff, right? I said my son and my wife, but like recovery needs to be up there too, because I wouldn't have any of these two things if I didn't have recovery. So that's true, my faith and my health. So a lot of people have their faith up there. That's good. And maybe I should have that up there too, right? Yeah. Interesting. Usam, it says, it's time for morning prayer. I wish you all the best in this life and in the next. May Allah God guide you all to the right path. Yes, sir. Have a good prayer. Have a good day, Usam. Over there in, I think you said Hungary. Have a good one. Say what's up to God for me. Say what's up. All right, well, that's good. I think that was a good one. Right, guys? And I hope everyone is having a good morning, good evening, good night, afternoon, late morning, whatever it is. Shout out to Matthew Schwinard, 54 days sober today. Zeus saying have a great night. Tyler James, very good man, have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Everybody give Matthew Schwinard a shout out. 54 days sober. Yeah, the crowd goes wild. Yeah, I'm in the program, bro. And you just came in at the end. I don't know if you were there the whole time, but you should rewatch the whole thing if you didn't. If you were there at the beginning, thank you very much. I will have another one next weekend. I'm trying to do Fridays, but I forget for some reason. Maybe I should just switch it up for Saturdays. Next Saturday at 9 p.m., another Antoine Anonymous meeting around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring your friends. Bring your addict friends. tune in again. And thanks for being here. And remember, ask yourself, what is the most important thing in my life? And then ask yourself, what is the right thing to do today? How can I be the best version of myself? It's not by doing drugs, that's for sure. All right, peace out.